So, law of attraction, it is fantastic. I mean, that's what it is.
Our favorite thing about it is it is so consistent that it is learnable. Humans are different. Humans are so inconsistent, they are never learnable. But law of attraction is learnable, and source is learnable.
For me, one of the turning points in my life was understanding emotions and thoughts. You think a thought, and they go hand in hand. You think a thought, and you had an indication on your feelings.
And why is that? Because you're thinking a thought about something, and your inner being is thinking a thought about something, and your emotions are about the difference or the harmony between what your inner being is thinking about that thought and the thought that you're thinking. Because every thought that you're thinking in this moment, your inner being is thinking a thought in this moment about that thought. And that's what your emotions are. They're feedback about how will you jive or not.
However, you always talk about perception, and perception it's all. I mean,
everything. There are no beliefs beyond what you perceive.
Exactly. I mean, a dog hears sound that you can't hear because you have a different apparatus, and they see colors that we don't see.
Stop faking, you little dog.
The same thing with us. I mean, sometimes the person that you are looking for is right there. Or the situation or the car or is right there next to you. You just don't see them because
that's why we're talking all the time about making lists of positive aspects or meditating, doing whatever you can to release your resistance so that your vibration raises, so that when your vibration raises, then you become a cooperative component to what you want. You can see a lot of things you don't want to see. So what we're talking about is whatever influence you're under makes you a cooperative component to whatever influence you're under. If you're focused upon trouble, then you can see trouble everywhere you go. If you're focused upon value and alignment and love, and if you're focused upon problems, you see problems everywhere. If you're focused upon solutions, a problem will show itself to you, but simultaneously the solution will be there too. You're right. Perception is everything, isn't it?
So whatever you give your attention to, you have more of that because you are tuning to that frequency.
Yes, because law of attraction creates momentum, and a belief is just a thought with a lot of momentum.
So it's not that you attract. I mean,
say again.
It's not that you attract because in
yes,
my
it
mind,
is.
Attracting.
Yes.
Meaning for many people, for me, it's meaning there's movement. So
yeah.
it looks like the car that I want is. It's not. It's just there. You just.
Oh, but you're only wanting to count the movement that you can see once it comes over here. But there's all kinds of vibrational movement that you've got to sense. You've got to care about what you feel. You've got to feel the movement before you can see it or hear it or smell it or taste it or touch it.
Which is vibration. Vibration.
Which is
perception,
awareness of vibration.
Perceive, yeah.
Yeah. Wayne Dyer wrote a book, and the title of his book, Esther didn't read the book, but the title is the best title ever. You'll see it when you believe it. Most people say, I'll believe it when I see it. You'll see it when you believe it. Well, what's a belief? A thought you continue to think. So you got to continue to think that thought, and in time, you'll see it because you've allowed the momentum of that thought to manifest into the reality that you want. So what are you getting at here? We're just teaching each other what we already know, but where's this going?
So I've been thinking, I mean, of course, law of attraction is perfect. But actually, we're talking about law of perception because it's really a perceptual world. You change your vantage point, you change your perception.
So let's talk about a really early thought that you're not perceiving. But you're satisfied. And because you're satisfied, that thought is gaining momentum. Isn't it logical that eventually it will have enough momentum that it will be perceivable by you, perceptible to you?
Yes.
So if something's imperceivable, it just means you haven't allowed it to have enough momentum that you can see it. And what kinds of things do you do that keep you from doing that? You're satisfied and unsatisfied and satisfied and unsatisfied and satisfied and unsatisfied and satisfied and unsatisfied, satisfied and unsatisfied and satisfied and unsatisfied. So you never allow it to become more perceivable. But if you're satisfied and satisfied and satisfied, then before long you've allowed the momentum to become such that now you're beginning to perceive things that you couldn't perceive before.
Let me give a different twist let me change.
We know
a little
you're
bit
getting
the
at
subject.
something.
No,
We know
I'm getting it. I mean, it's just a matter because attraction. What I mean is that it's just an observation from me. For me, when I start learning from you, Abraham, about attraction, so you are really attracting. It's not an attraction of movement, a movement of physical movement. It's a adaptation of your vibration, the vibration that you are vibrating.
Well, you're right. What you're saying is sort of what we've been saying. When we speak of manifestation, using a word that you often use, what you mean, humans, by manifestation is, now I can see it and hear it and smell it and taste it and touch it. It's manifested. It's a car in my garage. It's manifested. It's a lover in my bed. It's manifested. It's money in my bank. It's manifested. But we want to broaden the meaning of the word manifestation. We want to call manifestation, and so do you, it's what this is all about, the point at which I perceive it. Now, I can perceive it by translating the vibration into what I can see and hear and smell and taste and touch, or I can perceive it based upon what I'm feeling. So love is not something that you can see. Now, you might be able to see people responding who are in love or who love, but love is not something that you can see the manifestation of. It's something that you feel. It's something that you recognize as you feel the vibrational equivalency of it. So let's, for just a moment, yes, we're just going to revel in this for a moment. Let's just call truest of perception, my human, speaking from your point of view. We're about to jump out of Esther's skin. This is really, really important. Perception, from your point of view, has to be the point at which you come into vibrational agreement with your inner being. And you now have knowledge about something in its becoming that you couldn't perceive before. So true perception is awareness of the becoming of something. Are you enjoying this as much as we are? You know how sometimes you'll say, I saw that coming. I could feel it. I could just feel that coming. And sometimes it's stuff you didn't want, but there was a vibration that you recognized and you felt it coming. Well, you were picking up on the vibration of things. Let's bring this around to something that's helpful. So it's very, very beneficial to me as a physical being to move through see, hear, smell, taste, touch stuff, and from it launch new intentions or desires or goals, whatever you want to call it. My inner being gets all over it, holds undivided attention on the becoming of that, and perceives it in a reality that hasn't happened yet. And if I can be resistance free, then I can perceive the same vibrational reality that my inner being perceives, and I can be joyful in the vibrational presence, even though there is a physical manifested absence for a little while. That's what faith is. It's believing in what is not seen so that it can become seen. But if you're not willing to believe in what is not seen, if you need to see it before you believe it, then you're going to hold yourself off from so many things that are in the process. There was a woman came to Los Angeles over a period of several years, and she really wanted a baby and could not manage to get pregnant. We often chose her. The groups were small in those days. And she talked about wanting a baby. And we had long conversations with her like we're having with you. This seminar, another seminar. And people who were coming frequently came to know her as the woman who wanted a baby who couldn't get pregnant, because that was just the story she was telling. Eventually, she began to understand some of these things that we've been talking about here. And wouldn't you know, she's pregnant. And she shows up at a seminar. And oh, she's so happy. She is so happy. But you know what? She didn't have the baby yet. Not the way she wanted it. She wanted to go trick-or-treating with the baby. She wanted to put the baby in Halloween costumes. She wanted to do all the fun things that you do with a baby, but she didn't have that baby yet. She had the beginning of a baby. She had the becoming of a baby. She was pregnant with a baby, but the baby had not come out yet to play with her. But it might as well have in terms of happiness, because, she was ecstatic. So what we began to say to all of you is, you're pregnant with so many things that you desire. And if you could accept that in the same way that that baby was on its way into her experience, but something about it being within her made her believe it. And we want you to feel that what's in your vortex is within you. It's a vibrational becoming, and the gestation process is happening. And if it's in your vortex, it's a sure thing. And all you have to do is know that it's coming, and stop taking score that since it hasn't come out yet, that it's not coming. There you go. Enough? We need to hurry this along.
Thank you.
Yeah.
This is amazing. It's just so powerful. I don't know. I just wanted to say thank you. Come up. It's like you've answered everything. You've opened up everything. And I mean, the energy and the excitement of coming here, the anticipation. And
you know, the state of being that you are demonstrating here is the state of being that we wish for all of you more of the time, because it's just a state of satisfaction. In other words, you don't have a burning question right now. You're just in this place of satisfaction with where you are and a true eagerness for more. But the eagerness for more is not taking you out of alignment. Sometimes you get so eager for something more than what is that you become dissatisfied. It's a sort of an art, isn't it? To be satisfied and eager for more without the eagerness for more making you dissatisfied. That's the art right there, isn't it? And it takes focus. It takes willingness to appreciate and willingness to be open. And most of all, you know what it takes? A willingness to not be mean to yourself, a willingness to not beat up on yourself, a willingness to see yourself like your inner being sees you, as expansive and growing and becoming and really imperfect, in the sense that you never get it done. There really is no perfection, because that implies endedness, and there will never be that. There's only more and more and more and more and more. So the only criteria, moment by moment going forward, is how do I feel now? 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 And every moment in time, there is the potential for awareness within you of your in the moment now relationship with what's in your vortex. The people in your lives, you've put them in your vortex. Your children, they're in your vortex. Their well-being is in your vortex. The well-being of your planet, that's in your vortex. The well-being of your economy, that's in your vortex. The well-being of others, that's in your vortex. Your own well-being, that's in your vortex. You've lived so much life. You have so much aliveness and caringness for so many. And your inner being is in sync with all of that well-being. And when you deviate, you know it. And when you're in alignment, you know it. So isn't that really all that is necessary, is to feel as satisfied as you can feel? So what do you do when you are moving through a day and you had some awareness of how you feel, but the day got away from you and life came at you? Now, life coming at you is what law of attraction does. Law of attraction brings life to you that you've been asking for, even when you don't know you've been asking for it. So when you're offering a vibration that you haven't owned up to yet, you're not really aware that you're offering that vibration, so you're not calling it attraction, and life's coming at you, makes you defensive, because it feels to you like somebody else is coming at you, but they never are. So then when you feel defensive, now you're offering a vibration that right away doesn't allow your inner being to be part of the mix, not right now. And now you're engaging with another person who's probably feeling defensive too. So if you walk away from this gathering understanding that when life comes at you, nobody asserted it, that ornery teenager didn't assert it, that misguided government didn't assert it, that whatever it is that you're blaming for what feels like it's coming at you didn't assert it, you welcomed it, you invited it through a vibration that you may not have meant to offer. And after today, we are certain that you're not going to do that in an oblivious manner again. You're going to own more of your own vibration, which means you're going to be in more control of what you're offering, which means you're going to feel more deliberate creation rather than so much creation by default.